Hello, I'm Marcia Ribot.
I am Patricia Rodriguez.
And together, we are Little Soldier Productions. We are foreign artists
based in the UK.
And over the last 10 years, we have made and toured work all over the world.
We love it, but it's not always been easy.
So we have invited our friends and collaborators who share the same passion.
And we have asked them what it's like for them and how they make it happen.
We want to know what gets lost in translation.
What can't they travel without?
And their best border control stories.
Welcome to They Make It Happen,
a series of online conversations about the ins and outs of making and touring work internationally.
Mònica graduated in drama at l'Institut del Teatre in Barcelona, specializing in theatrical biomechanics with Moreno Bernardi. In 2008, together with Albert Pérez and Miquel Segovia, she began an artistic project that would eventually become the theatre company A Tres Bandas.
As an actress and devices, she has participated in all their shows, presented in different contexts in national and international festivals. El Señor Arreglos, A l'Altra Banda, Solfatara, Locos Amoenos, and All In. In recent years, the company has begun collaborative work with other companies, De La Sapa, Coda, Ultima Thule, It Don't Worry Me, and La Guerra dels Mons. They have also organized the first 3 editions of the Croquis Barcelona season with the support of Sala Batet and the Can Felipa Civic Center in Barcelona, a small festival of work-in-progress projects.
Since 2012, she has collaborated in projects with other groups such as La Veronal, El Conde de Torrefiel, Mariona Naudín, Projecte Nisu, RRR Roger Bernat, and the Centaura Productions. As dramaturg and consultant, she has also collaborated with Mos Maiorum Company, and in aquell dia tèrbol que vaig sortir d'un cinema de l'Eixample i vaig decidir convertir-me en un hom, directed by Alicia Gurina.
So here we are. Hello, Mònica.
Hello, hola.
Good afternoon, I think.
Is it?
Yes, it's 3:20 now here.
Okay, here.
All the way from Sao Paulo.
Directly from Sao Paulo, yes.
Here we are in London.
Rainy London.
Here is summer.
Very good, very good. So, how are you? How are you, Mònica?
I'm fine. I'm in a kind of holidays here.
Nice.
So, and happy and discovering the country and trying to discover also the theater, the Brazilian theater.
Okay.
So it's
Sao
nice.
Paulo. So can you tell us a little bit why you are in Sao Paulo? What has brought you there?
Love bring me here. This is nice. So I take 5 weeks to be here with someone really nice, and also to do that, to try to discover a bit, because I don't know in London, but in Spain, Brazilian theater, I never see anything about Brazilian companies or Brazilian artists. It's only dancers, some choreographer, but no. So it was also like, okay, I would like to discover what is happening here in Brazil.
Yeah, we have a festival, Casa Festival in the UK in London, which they used to bring artists from abroad and companies. But apart from that, there's not a huge representation. I don't think maybe I don't know enough, but it's not it's true.
A country that I don't know.
Export a lot of,
Well, is there anything that has caught your attention in terms of?
So the thing I didn't know it is I take COVID, so I was isolated, and then also here is like holidays. Okay. So theaters are just now starting to have programmation. So I only see one show, but it was really nice. It was called Língua Brasileira.
Okay.
And it was about how la lengua brasileira was from the beginning until now. It was 2.5 hours of shows that they speak in Guarani, in Portuguese, in Latin, in Greek, about all the in Paraguayo, no? So all the languages.
The language. Okay.
And it was really, I really enjoy it. And that was really nice, with music of Tom Zé, one musician of Sao Paulo. So that was nice to enter. I thought it was also something to me, like, okay, lengua brasileira, like that, a bit.
Yeah.
And now now I will discover more. So it's nice to be here.
Lovely. Actually, one question that we wanted to ask everyone who's part of this series of conversations, we wanted to ask them to tell us their story and what shaped them as artists, and what took them where they are now. So from your studies at Instituto del Teatro and your specialization, and then meeting your theatre company. So I would like to hear a little bit about your story.
Nice. Okay. See, so since I was a child, I not theater, but dance was in part of my life. I studied dance for a long time. And then over there, I discovered that the thing that I really like of dance, it was this kind of interpretation. So theater comes to this part of making dance. And then I studied, as you say, in Instituto del Teatro. And over there, we were 12 in our classroom. And one of them, it was Albert, who is part of my theater company. And one day, it was like a study festival. And he sent an email of the 12 of us in the class saying, someone of you want to perform with me to create something? And we answered only 2 persons, who was me and Mikel, the other one. And we start to make a small creation for this festival. And we understand that it was very nice to work together. We were very different, but at the same time, a lot of respect, a lot of listening of each other. And I get in love of them. And since then to now, it's 12 years that we were working. We create a Tres Bandas. And yes, we are still in the same position at the beginning with a lot of questions. But when we are in the in the space to create, it's really nice to be with them. It's very slow, but really deep. I feel this. And I think, thank you of Tres Bandas, or all my work with them, I start to work also with another people, because they saw us and then they engaged me as an actress or as a performer. But also in the last year, I start to work like an assistant. Okay. And I think it's also because all my background with Tres Bandas, this perform way that we do. And this is a bit of my history. Dance also always came with me.
Okay.
So for that, I work with La Veronal and other companies that use the body a lot. And I don't know, it's a bit.
No, it's great. So this series of conversations that we are going to run, this is all about international theater making, international art. It's very much linked to crossing borders, doing what we love doing. So we're also asking the people that we are having conversations with, like, if they actually identify themselves as being international artists, because maybe it's something that, like for me, for instance, is something that I only noticed very recently, that I actually fit into that category somehow. So we are wondering if for you is the same. How do you see yourself as in that?
Wow, I never thought in myself as an international artist, because I live where I was born, that is Barcelona, and I create over there. But it's real, it's true that I work a lot abroad. And so maybe am I don't know.
I think you are.
Am I? But it's really weird, because we create in Barcelona, and we with my friends, and I don't know, no, and it's very local at the end. But it's true that our kind of theater is more, I don't know, people like more, or we are more programming abroad than in Spain. This is one of the things that in one hand is really nice because we have the opportunity to travel, to see other works, and to spread our pieces abroad. And very sad also at the same time, because sometimes it's like, come on, why I don't perform at home and I have to go abroad, no? So yes, maybe I'm an international artist because I work a lot internationally. Yes. And also a lot of people consider us, as for example, in A Tres Bandas, international in Barcelona. But we don't consider ourselves like this.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That's interesting that is it because you work a lot in English, you think? Even in Barcelona, some of the shows they're still performed in English?
See, one part of this is because our second and third creation was supported for English institutions. So we create in England, and as we are base actors or actresses, so we have the tools of the actor, and we create with the things that we have. So we were in England, so we create in English, or about our travels in England, or our mistaking with the language because we don't speak really nice, as you can see. And yes, I think that was something special. And for our last show, it was because of we were a lot of time in England. We met Nasi Boutzas and Bertrand Lesca. We make a collaboration, and the show appears in English. So we premiere in Barcelona with a show in English.
Yeah.
And then the problem was how to translate that.
We'd love to hear more about it, because we wanted to ask you about It Don't Worry Me, which will come to the UK in February and March. Yes. So for people in London, they can see it in New Diorama.
New Diorama in May, I think, first week of May. Then in Home, Manchester.
We'll put some link in the conversation.
Come to see us.
We were wondering if how is this how creating in the room with other people who English is not their first language. Well, for Nasi,
yes.
But so how was the process of creating? How was the actual making process? How did the language impact, but also the cultural backgrounds from the different.
See, one of the first items to create It Don't Worry Me was this theme about political correctness.
Okay.
Because we discovered when we were in the Fringe Festival that Spain, in a way, we are very far from the English or the UK thoughts about political correct. We discovered that we were more racist in our language, in the gender themes. Like we were 1, 2, or 3 or 4 steps back of also the conception of the UK people. So that was like the first wow. So let's talk about this. It's true that then step by step this theme became inside, and it was more in the art, political correctness in the art, and all this. And then when we were together, when you cannot speak deeply because it's not mother tongue, or then appears another kind of things on stage that is, for me, is really interesting. And that's happened to It Don't Worry Me. And it was really nice. And then it was like we create in English and we perform in Barcelona, and the show is improvisado.
Right.
So we couldn't not put the subtitles in.
Yes.
And it was, I wanted a lot to translate, because if not, this is something very elitist, because if people don't speak English, cannot follow your show, is really, I didn't like it. So we discovered, okay, let's do something. And in that case, it's me. Gonna translate with headphones for people who don't understand the show.
Okay. So you do like a live translation.
Yes.
of the show.
So this was the solution to the problem, but it became like a new level. Because me as a translator, I make opinions about the performers.
Okay.
So that became really nice for people who, and it was like a trouble that makes you another creation at the end, no?
Yes,
that
it's a
is
restriction the restriction enabled you to find something
like
and
alternative.
much more exciting.
See.
Layer. That's great.
Fantastic.
That's great. So I can see that you're gonna continue, like traveling with your work, crossing borders. Is there anything that you can name and you can tell that this is the thing that really makes it for me, like making theater in an international context? Is there something that you go like, I do it because of this reason?
No.
Like, is there something?
I do it. See.
Like when people, let's say, make theater very locally, or they do not, that what is it that they are really missing from the experience of mixing up with different artists from other countries, or opening up in that way?
See, I don't, but because that came to me very casually. It was not something that I was looking for. It appears. I don't know, but I think it appears in my life. I'm in Brazil. I don't know, So I think it's a kind of also my way to be on the earth. I don't know. I'm very curious. So I think that's, for me, this is also a motor.
Yes.
Of creation. See. So I like to perform in other languages. I like to go abroad to discover other kind of theaters, other ways to make theater. So for me, this is the way I like to create. And I think if that doesn't exist, I don't know if I wanted to like theater. I don't know. I don't know. I answered you, or I go very far.
Yeah, it's a way of keeping yourself open and learning and discovering, and always trying to get new things and really investigating that. So
and also things brings you things, because I don't know, I learned French por acaso in life.
Yes.
And then the French bring me to go to Canada to a festival, and then this French make me work with La Veronal because they need a Catalan actress who speak French. That the things happen to me like this.
Yes.
I think happens to everyone like this, like this chain of. But see, I think it was like this, that for that at the beginning is, I'm an international artist. No, but I'm there, no? But by my lot.
Sorry.
No, I was just thinking about like saying that you also speak French. I was wondering how it is for you to perform in a how it is for you to perform in a different language, and do you feel different as an actor when you perform in French or in Catalan and Spanish, in English, and tell us a little bit more about that.
See, I really I like the freedom of speak one language which is not your tongue language, your mother language, because you are so free. I feel really free to go. See, there's no hay juicio. I don't know how to say, because
there's no judgment.
There's
no judgment on the things that you say, on the way you express yourself. Yes.
Also because you don't have even sometimes the musicality of the language, so you go and doesn't matter,
Yes.
That's I like a lot, this freedom of be in another language. The thing that you don't have is this deepness of when you speak your language, and all the words have so many meanings, because
Yes.
And that is something that it miss, I think, when you are performing in another language. For you, and for the audience.
Exactly. I was going to get into that now, like the audience, like the response of the audience. How do you experience that when you are, with, saying or just performing a show that you have created somewhere else, and then it's received by an audience that doesn't belong to the context where you have created the show? How was your experience about that? How has it been for you?
In the UK, it was so nice, because imagine my accent, no? And this is my best English now, so imagine 10 years ago. So it was really bad.
We are in the same boat,
Yeah. But what do you think? People in the UK are really nice with the accent. I don't know. This was my feeling with the accent. With even if your way of performing is not a clear English, so people are really used to maybe to listen.
Yeah, in the context of theater where we, like, I think we belong to, like, I think it's a little more open-minded. Yeah. I guess we go to
the globe.
Yeah, I guess if we go to like more commercial networks or industries, they will go like
what?
I can imagine a very conservative person thinking like, I can't understand a single thing she's saying.
Claro. No.
Like, but I think generally people are very tolerant with our accent.
I think more than in France. Because over there, with the language, I mean, it's I think they are more strict about it.
Do you perform have you been to France and performed in French, or
not yet? I'm very scared. No, but I know that over there, I don't know. I should be really accurate, really. If we will go with La Veronal, I think, in the future. So all the monologues are in French. So I know that is really nice. Not that in the UK I didn't do that, but more in France, because they are this thing of the language and the things really well said. But always my experience to perform in another languages or abroad is never a problem. Never. It was a problem. The opposite.
But how about when it's not language? Like, do you think the perception, regardless of it's very difficult to exclude, I guess, but regardless of the accents and how the language is spoken, and, do you think there are different reactions whenever you go to, the same show, you do it in America or you do it in, because, I mean, we do have some experiences of performing shows in different parts of the world, and it's really different. So but we would like to hear your
for example, we have an anecdote. I don't know how to say in English. We were in tour in the UK, so we went first to the Gateshead Gift Festival with All In, that it was a piece really like un collage. The dramaturgy was not so clear, so that it was difficult to. Not difficult. I really like it, but it's not this clear line of a show.
Not narrative. Yeah, it's not narrative.
No. So we went. In Gift Festival was like a success, like really people clapping, no? And 2 days after, we were to Lighthouse of Poole.
Yeah.
And it was 4 people in the audience. Like, wow. They were like, they didn't know how to put themselves, they didn't. It was like, I don't know if this is serious. If this is serious, it's really bad and really ugly, And at the end, they clapping like, because they thought that the director was not us.
Okay.
They clap us like, sorry for the thing that you should do today here, as a
Were you able to speak to them after?
No, we wanted, but you know, you look the faces like, sorry for that, you were good, but the show is really, really ugly and really bad. And it was imagine it was the same week, same country, but two different of the same show, two different kind of perceptions. And so you see, it was really, but in pool was really, really funny.
Of course, yeah.
Do you have any other? Have you had any other like? Because I remember like a lot in the beginning of being in the UK, using a lot of sayings, for example, like things that you ¿cómo se llaman sayings in Spanish?
Dichos
and things like that that we use very good, like very in our very everyday language.
Sí.
Have you had any kind of situations in which you have used that
like a saying,
like a saying, or like a Spanish saying, or that the translation didn't kind of match, and it just caused like a, you know, like this kind of cultural gap between you and the other person.
See, but not on the stage, luckily, but on every day. I remember one that we were in a cultural center and we should sing. No, imagine again, sign, no? Firmar.
Yeah.
So I entered and said, to enter I should sing.
You just said, la da 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 da.
And the woman sing, yes. Yesterday I sing to enter. And the woman, see, and then so this happens in my life. It's happened every day in the UK. Lots of these kind of things, but not on the stage first, luckily, because we perform with a script. But see.
And did you ever had to cut any of the text because of those kind of cultural gaps that you have to be like do some edits?
When we start to create it, Don't Worry Me, more than cut, it was a lot of conversation about what things we can say and what things you cannot talk about.
Okay.
But this was like a part of the process, no? And we learned at that moment that some things that in Spain still is something that you can talk about it. So it's the rain of the 4 o'clock in Sao Paulo. You listen?
No.
At 4 o'clock it rains every day, like a lot, and it's so I listen a lot. So yeah, we understand that there's things that still in Spain, because we are 4 steps back, for example, we can talk about without.
But it's changing.
It's changing. Luckily, it's changing, but also luckily in us.
It's quite. I think it's moving quite fast.
Yes.
I thought this would have been much slower, but I do believe it's going. Yeah, like the more and more I talk to Spanish people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But imagine when we started Don't Worry Me, it was 2019.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when we talk about it, so it's true that in these years it was like boom, like okay. But yes, we in that moment we understand these gaps and we learn a lot from Nasi and Bert about But we were questioning us a lot about how we can go further with art or not.
Yes.
We are allowed to talk.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's very interesting because it really one of the roles of art, like going to dangerous places with with anything, with topics, with language, with the way we speak about certain things, like it's really tricky and a very interesting, definitely a very interesting path to tackle, to subject.
For example, I like a lot when I see shows that they put me like, I don't know, that they are very politically incorrect, and put me in a position really difficult.
Yes.
And I really appreciate their shows, but they go really, for example, I saw one about Angelica Lidl about gender, about feminism, that goes really deep in a line that is not nowadays is not the thing that I thought, but I really like her going so far in that anti-Me Too.
Yes.
I really appreciate.
Yeah, because it's really going so far down and so deep, it really starts to become a thing, I think. Like when it's like, even though, but when
it questions your values, it just goes all the way down to your values, and then you just kind of have to have those.
But it's controversial because you can say also, no, we cannot go there. We should so many work to do, for example, that come on, let's go to another direction. Let's, I don't know, go deep in another things, no, or criticism, but for me it was really much chocante, and I think I still thinking of the show now, because she put me in a place really uncomfortable.
And I get what it is all about. It's great. What is the name of that show?
La Letra Escarlata.
Yay.
It was really polemic.
Yes, okay.
Some friends of mine didn't like it, another like a lot. I really like it.
Okay, cool. Shall we move into the boring bits of, comparing industries and countries?
Oof, okay.
Wow. Blame me.
No. Before, I've got one last question about the translation, because you were saying that now you have to translate the show that you were. So and also, like in the past shows, have you translated it yourself, or is it something that how is that process? How is the translation process happen? Is it something that you
engage someone?
You engage someone who knows a language, and is it always been Catalan, Spanish to English?
English. How it works? No, the translation thing always come at the end. So we don't think and we don't be worried until the end when we should present that, and then it's okay, how we do this, no? So the first show we make translations, and or that in Need Don't Worry Me appears in the opposite way, but really because it was a trouble, or it was like something to resolver, no?
Yeah.
But or Locus Amoenos, it was in that moment we were really troubles in our day life to understand people in the UK where we were creating, that the show reflect that misunderstandings. Yes. But yes, we never engage someone because he speaks English and we performing. No, it was not like
something
this.
That comes from, like, you do it yourself and you do it after the process.
Yes, it was.
Can we move into the boring bit?
Let's move into the boring bit. It's not.
So what's the best country to make work? Okay, I'll rephrase the question. Sorry. Like, what are the good things about making work in Catalonia? What are the good things about making work in the UK? And what do you think each other should learn from each other? I would take this. Yeah, I would take this.
Mira, sí. In Catalonia, we should take this thing. For example, in the UK, when you create a show, you have the money before you create the show of the Arts Council. In Catalonia, no. You have the money 1 year after. So this is something that we should learn, because it's really hard and tough thing to, like, we are always trying to get money of relative or our money to put there, and then 1 year after you get this money, but you put in another show. So this is really tough in Catalonia or in Spain, no? Yeah. That because we work in the UK, that doesn't happen. The first time was our producers told us, we have the 80%, 3 months before the tour, for example, it was, oh, nice. Really? So this is, I really like it also in the UK. You have these sindicatos of the actors. Everything is really, okay, for 1 week of work, this is the amount of minimum, no?
Yes.
But in Catalonia is more like
casual. Yeah, it's more casual. Yeah.
Sí.
So, like just to translate the like sindicatos, unions, yeah. So like
the union.
ITC, who set the rate.
Sí. The rate. So this is. Then I really like to. I really like to live in Barcelona. I really like the city. I think that there's a lot of problems, but also is a place of a lot of talent. People are really. I think people are in Spain are really talented. I have this feeling, and in Catalonia it's true that there is this kind of network, of course, network of cultural centers in the neighborhoods, which, for example, in Madrid that doesn't exist, and in Catalonia, yes. For example, that helps a lot to us because you can go there for free, and then you perform for the people of the neighborhood, and that creates like a dialogue with people who are not too used to go to contemporary theater.
Yes.
So for me, it's really nice to live in Catalonia, create there, and then go abroad. And in France, this is really nice, you know, when you perform in France and you see that all the theaters have, all kind of theaters have place in the city, that, you know, this is really beautiful because in Spain doesn't happen. No?
Like
I don't know. See, contemporary theater, alternative theater, conservative theater have the network and they theater and them, no?
Yes.
And this is really beautiful because in Spain you are on or in the off, but this in between doesn't exist a lot. Okay. I don't know in the UK, but Spain is really difficult.
I don't know.
Yeah, like there's definitely like a network of theaters who are more commercial, like West End, and then and then you have like
more focus on comedy or more.
But you can live in the UK making your kind of work.
But you have to divert your activity quite a lot. Yeah, you have
this is the same, no? This is doesn't change.
Yeah, you do, you know, you work for Little Soldier sometimes, and you do your other projects with different companies, or you know, you do voiceover work,
and you do some teaching.
You do some teaching.
In that case, it's the same. I think this is most part of the people. We should do that, no?
Yes. I think so. I think that is quite universal, I guess, in know, like our craft involves a lot of, you know, versatility. Like you have to be flexible to do like different kind of tasks all the time. So are you involved in logistical aspects of the work, of making the work? Do you, because just by hearing to what you're talking about the industry, like us, we are pretty much involved in logistics. Merce always takes the role in the shows, like I am the one who does the whole thing.
We do get involved in some aspects of
but it's a current theme in our shows, like Merce, you know, like claims I am the producer of the company.
Same here. I'm also, I gonna not say the producer of the company because it's not true, but yes, before you this morning I was like making una subvención, a grant.
A grant application.
I prepared los impuestos, the taxes of the company. I like to make the Excels of the money. I bought the travels. I make the budgets.
Yes.
We don't have right now we don't have a producer.
Yes.
Sometimes for some projects, yes, we have someone who helps us or take care about that in the UK. But as a company, we don't have a producer, so we do everything.
when you go abroad, you have to kind of deal with all of the, well, I guess like not in Europe, not visas, but you have to deal with all the kind of logistics of traveling.
PCRs. Now with the UK, for example, to bring Nasi, yes, to make an application to bring him to work to Spain is like really hard.
Okay.
Really, really hard.
Wow.
It's 2 or 3 months in advance. You should pay, present like the contract, the flights, the accommodation, everything, and they take your passport for 3 weeks.
Wow.
So as for example, as a performer, it's really tough.
So you've been kind of dealing with, I don't want to bring pandemic into the conversation, but you kind of, your last show, so making it from 2019, you've been dealing with pandemics and Brexit at the same time.
One performer get COVID in Barcelona, which in the very tough moment of the pandemic. So isolate a company that makes money. I don't know how it is in the UK, but the contracts with the venues, there is not a clausula of COVID. You are really in the line of who pays what if that happens.
Yes.
And that's it's a dealing. We were lucky because the festival take as half part of all the costs that change flights, 10 days isolation of all the company. So we shared, but it was not in the contract.
Yeah.
Because the contract is, in case of that, we should talk. No. So this is really, it was tough, but we do it also, and I know I learn a lot of things about.
So
in the way of making things.
The end of the talk, and just I just want to say that a lot of our audience for these online talks that we do are students, university students, generally. That so, is there anything you would like to say to a student that is listening to us, and and maybe like tell them like advice about being an international artist?
I don't know.
You should know that that I don't know, like some tip or advice or something.
Or the worst.
Communicate.
Yeah, even if it's the worst advice you ever had.
Yes.
So then repeat that.
Okay.
The best advice you ever got.
No, I don't know. No, first enjoy this moment of be studying. It's really nice to see a lot of things. Go to see everything, the thing you like, the thing you don't like, because I think this is the way that you learn more, and then make the thing that you are happy to, without thinking of, in my case, without thinking of being international or not, because it's gonna happen, I think. Or I don't have I don't have the way to be international. Only make the thing that you are happy to do with the people that you love, and see a lot of things. Excellent. I think this is it's not an advice. It's like do whatever it salga de vosotros, no?
Yeah, that comes.
And if it's and work a lot, and then this gonna be authentic to go, no?
Bueno, Mònica,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's been such a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. It was people can understand my English.
Of course,
of course, yes, of course. And we will subtitle. No.
Then all the meetings.
We make a live commentary.
Actually, we're gonna subtitle.
It's true. Now we're saying.
Yeah, we're subtitling. Don't worry.
In Spanish and in English. Well, what was I about to say? That's it. Thank you so much. We will see you in the theatre in London, and maybe in Barcelona or Spain. So nice. Thank you very much for your time.
No, a vosotras. Bye bye. Adiós.